the bill is passed.
President Trump scored a major legislative victory on Thursday. The House passed his big, beautiful bill by a razor-thin margin. The final vote was 215 to 214, with one member voting present.
That was Speaker Johnson hitting the gavel, passing Trump's big beautiful bill, in a narrow 215 to 214 vote. Hello everyone and welcome to the Weekly Review. I'm your host and thank you for being here. With more on the BBB, let's take a look at President Trump and Speaker Johnson addressing their victory.
Let me tell you, I think we have unbelievable unity. I think we're going to get everything we want, and I think we're going to have a great victory, and this man has done a great job. And I think this was a tremendous session. You may want to say something.
Yeah, it was a great meeting. The party is unified. The House Republican Conference is excited. Multiple standing ovations. They love this president. The people back home love what he's doing. It's historic, and everybody understands the scope and the meaning of this. If we do not accomplish this mission, every one of you, all the American people, are going to have the highest tax increase that you've ever had. And among the debt ceiling cliff that's approaching and all the other problems, this is the bill to do it. I think we're going to get it done, Mr. President.
Historic may be, the bill's passage has raised concerns about fiscal sustainability, especially given the existing $36.2 trillion federal debt. Opposition to the bill was quick to mention the expected $3 trillion this will add to the deficit over the next 10 years, and gives the biggest tax breaks to the wealthy, while making cuts on things like Medicaid. While we hope for the best for everyone, there is still much left to deliver from the GOP's bill as it now makes its way towards the Senate. In related news, long-term bond yields have risen due to fears that the Senate negotiations may reduce proposed spending cuts, increasing the bill's cost. The bond market is experiencing heightened volatility. Long-duration government bonds are underperforming, with the iShares 20-year down 5% this month. With more on this, let's have a look.
The game plan is still largely the same for us. We've been in a trading range for interest rates across the yield curve for quite a while now. I mean, Powell himself said the 10 years where it was 2.5 years ago. And it's true that the long end of the curve is performing unusually for what's been something of a Fed easing cycle. You know, we've had 100 basis points of cuts, and yet long rates are up. That doesn't happen typically. And this, I think, continues to feed into my thesis that as the economy weakens, long-term interest rates could very well be going up.
The bonds market mood swing sure does make teenage angst look stable. Amid rising deficits and inflation, investors are shifting towards short-term, high-yield securities to mitigate risk. Surging Japanese bond yields are causing concerns over the potential unwinding of the yen carry trade, which could negatively impact key markets such as the U.S. Now moving on to some unfortunate news. A tragic event unfolded in Washington, D.C., where two Israeli embassy staffers, Sarah Milgram and Yaron Lichinsky, were fatally shot outside the Capitol Jewish Museum. The suspect, Elia Rodriguez, has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. No matter what side of the ongoing conflict you sit on, the spreading of violence only damages our unity as citizens. However, many claim this as retribution for the ongoing atrocities in Gaza, which sees people starving and being murdered on an even larger scale. Let us remember that it is the duty of the strong to protect the weak, and that humanity is how we spread our ideals of freedom and righteousness. This week has been a whirlwind of legislative maneuvers, market fluctuations, technological advancements, and somber events. As we navigate these developments, it's crucial to stay informed and adaptable. Remember, in the world of politics and markets, the only constant is change, and maybe the occasional scandal. I'm your host, and this has been the Weekly Review. Thank you for being here, and we will see you in next week's installment. Bye-bye now.